Let's just combine this last topic here since we're running late
Okay.
anyway, and just kind of click through this and give our thoughts on it. So the next one, though, guys, that we were going to talk about here is Disney just dropped like a couple hours ago their first look at the Star Wars Visions series, which kind of surprised me. I'm sure I knew this at some point, but it's actually like an anime series, but it's like an anthology thing. And what I guess really surprised me was that they actually went out to a bunch of they weren't just replicating an anime style, they actually have a bunch of, like, Japanese, um, production companies, like anime studio companies actually made these series, so they all have different looks to them, and they have the look of, the artists that work at these studios, so it's really cool. It surprised me at the very least. I was not aware that they were actually doing anything like this. I completely forgot that they were even making this and that was even a thing, but, like, a lot of the stuff looks really cool, like, honestly. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. If you wanna go look at it, you can go watch the whole thing 'cause it is like a 3-minute video, so I don't just wanna play the whole thing. And you don't see too much of it. It's not like a full trailer. It's more of a just kind of like sizzle reel, if you will, with some of the people talking about it. But you have some really cool like character designs and models in here. And a lot of it just looks really cool. Like there's one scene where like literally one of the dude's lightsabers, like that guy right there. This looks like a katana, but it's a lightsaber. It's just it looks cool. And they all have very unique, different styles to them. From what I understand, they're all, like, their own original stories, and they're all, like I said, it's gonna be an anthology thing, so I'm not really sure if there's gonna be any sort of connective tissue between any of these things, or if they're gonna be part of any pre-existing material. I don't really know. As far as I'm aware, it's all gonna be its own standalone individual story, maybe doesn't go anywhere further than this. We'll just have to kinda wait and see. What did you think about this, John, when you first saw it? Did anything stand out to you? Because I showed you what I thought, like, the animation style and character design that I really liked. I pointed it out to you,
Yeah.
but is there anything that you liked when you saw this initially?
Yeah, anime is one of those things that I wish I was into more. It, it comes straight down to time for me between superheroes and Star Wars and just life in general. I just don't find myself with enough time to keep up with those things, let alone branching out into anime. But I've always been a fan of the different styles and the different looks of it. So I'm excited to see it brought into the Star Wars universe. I was this hinted or talked about in kind of a vague fashion when they did the Disney investor meeting where they kind of announced. I feel like I've heard this Star Wars Visions, that they were going to do this Star Wars Visions kind of anthology series, but I don't think I really knew to what extent they were going to do it. But this trailer looks great. I mean, all of this, I love that there's a
That was
number
the
of
one I
different
liked.
looks. Yeah,
Yeah, that character
yeah.
design.
Yeah, I like the idea that they're it's not just done in one style. What I said to you when we were first heard about this and we're talking about it, it reminds me of the Gotham Knights uh set of stories, anthology stories that they did in between Batman Begins and the Dark Knight movie that was like a
Mm.
direct to home animated movie and animated DVD. Um and if it's something like that, I'm really excited because I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the different takes on it, the different the types of stories that they told. So, it could be end up being a really cool addition to the Star Wars mythos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm super excited for it. That's the thing. I do remember them mentioning that they were going to be doing this Vision show, but I did not know it was gonna be an anime series, so I don't know if that was
Hmm.
actually announced. I'm sure it
Yeah, I
was,
couldn't.
but I didn't know what to if they did announce it, I know for a fact what I thought of was just like, okay, they're going to make their own sort of anime style thing. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't think
Sure.
they were actually going to go and get a bunch of like anime studios to make like individual anthology story. I had no idea that's what they were
Yeah.
doing. Like absolutely zero idea. So it was a huge surprise to me. But like this is the kind of I love this kind of like art style. I think this looks
Yeah.
dope, dude. That
Yeah.
especially,
It
like, the
looks
way these are drawn, it almost looks like
almost like a medieval.
post-apocalyptic Yeah, yeah, it kinda looks like that.
feudal Japan almost
It
looked
exactly,
to me
yeah.
at least a little bit, but yeah, post-apocalyptic. It's just a
It's a
amalgam of, like, a
combination,
lot of
yeah.
different. Yeah, it looks awesome. I
It
mean, one
looks
of the things
super
that
dope. Well,
as
like, a
the
dude
more and
sitting in
more
a
we
probe droid, that's the same kinda I forget the name of the race, but
that's
that's the same race
awesome.
as Sebulba, like, chilling inside
Yep,
of a probe droid, like, it's fucking cool, dude. Like,
that's awesome.
it's just
I mean,
cool
one
as
of the
hell.
things is that's gonna be as we talk about it more and more and as I'm watching this, I mean, there's gonna be some really cool, assuming I gotta think with this many there may be 1 or 2 that aren't the best, that may just be kinda mediocre, but I
It
have a
looks
feeling we'll
awesome.
get some pretty awesome stories out of this, and can you imagine there'll be some pretty cool figures and some statues that come out of this line,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that will fit in with your Star Wars other Star Wars collectibles, but give you a different just have that different look to them that stand out a little bit more just because they don't fit within the, kind of the standard models that we've had for the past how many ever decades.
Mhm. Well, and 2, as you've seen going through here, the art style for all these things are, like, drastically different. Like, all
Yes.
none of them look the same, like, it's like, even as far as, like, the landscapes, the character design, the general art style itself, it all looks unique to its own particular story, and, like,
Mhm.
interestingly enough, Sideshow did do a bunch of, samurai Star Wars figures. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah?
those? Yeah, so, I mean,
I haven't, no,
they
I
would
don't
kinda fit in with
think I missed
this.
those.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
some of them look actually kinda cool. Let me see if I can pull one up.
That's that X-wing upside down in the sand is it's a pretty striking image. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what like if these stories are set within the Star Wars, they're obviously set within the Star Wars universe, but if any of them are ever like try to tie in with anything that canonically has happened before. Oh yeah, there they go.
Yeah, so there was, like, some First Order troopers and Kylo Ren, and then here is,
Okay.
I don't know if this one's Boba Fett or it's a Mandalorian, but I think it's Boba Fett, and then there's,
Yeah.
Darth Vader, and, like,
Vader. Yep.
yeah, you can I don't know if they're still available, but they did make, like, a bunch of these. There's the Imperial
Interesting.
Guard. Like, this
Yep.
dude's even got a drum on his chest. But, like, the Boba Fett one actually looks pretty fucking cool,
Yeah.
and the Vader one looks pretty neat too. But they kinda would really like, and I don't know, if they made more of these figures, this would actually, like, they would really fit in. I don't even know what the
Mhm.
hell this is, but they look pretty
Sure.
cool on their own if you're into that kinda thing, obviously, like, they do exist. They do have some,
Mhm.
6 scale figures. Yeah, here's C-3PO. I remember seeing 3PO, and there's Phasma. There's Jango Fett. But yeah,
Okay.
they made a lot more of these than I even was aware of. I didn't know they made, like, the Imperial Guards and, like, stormtroopers and stuff. I knew they made Vader and Boba Fett, but yeah, there's Maul even too, dude. I had no idea
Oh, that's cool.
I had no idea they were making these things. So yeah, there's Captain America Samurai and Spider-Man Samurai and Iron Man Samurai up there too. So yeah, this is just
Yep.
must be Sideshow must just have a samurai line that they do with anything they have a license of, which is kinda cool. Like I said, if you're into that kind of stuff, like, they're definitely there. Some of them definitely look better than others, but, like, I honestly think that both that one looks pretty dope.
That does look good.
I know, it's really cool. And I like the idea though too, like, you saw it in the one of these things, there was, like, this picture of, like, a samurai-looking character, but he also had a gun, so he was like a gunslinging samurai. I've always thought
Yeah.
that was kinda cool, just a cool motif, which is kinda like how this thing looks. So, like, I don't know,
Mhm.
I'm excited for this. I was completely surprised by it. Some look better than others. I'm hoping they're good because I do like quite a few anime series, so it's an art style in general, and, like, I'm used to. I haven't watched, like, a ton of anime, but I've watched more than most people can say they've watched, I put it that way. I've watched
Mhm.
quite a bit of it, but I don't seek it out all the time. I just want I really enjoy it. I would consider myself a fan of anime stuff. Some more than others, obviously, but nevertheless, I'm excited for it. Definitely caught me off guard. I was not expecting it, and I think it's really cool they actually went out of their way and did it. It's a very
Yeah, the one
un-Disney-like thing to do. I mean, they have always had a relationship with Studio Ghibli, but Studio Ghibli is a very unique style of anime. They do their own thing, and they're not traditional anime whatsoever. Like, not at all. Like, Studio Ghibli is one of the few anime studios who have had they've made a footprint in Western civilization. Like, everyone has like, my wife and kids had watched Studio Ghibli stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's that they've been around for a while and have made a footprint in our culture for the last, easily the last 20 years or whatever. Like, people have known who they were, but, like, not the same for, like, a lot of these other, like, more niche anime action kind of things. Because like, Studio Ghibli does, like, Miyazaki, they do a lot of actual, like, dramatic stuff as opposed to just, like, Dragon Ball Z action kind of thing, you know? It's not really the same thing. So, I've always thought Star Wars and stuff like that would be really well suited for anime, but nevertheless, what were you gonna say?
um, I don't know.
Uh,
I yeah, it's
oh, I
gone,
said
but
it was a
that's
very
fine. It
un-Disney-like
wasn't.
thing to do, and then you were gonna say something. I don't know if that jogs your
Yeah,
memory. I don't know.
I'm not. It's not really coming to me right now, but that's okay. I don't think it was that important, but
Nevertheless, I
we're
pretty
good.
much said all I wanna say. I'm excited to see it. I
Yeah,
didn't like
yeah.
that.
Well, that's I think that's where I was gonna say real quick is I did mention like it reminded me of the Batman thing. The one thing
Mhm.
I will say about or the other thing I've said a lot about it, I've said more than one thing. The other thing I'll say about it is that I don't, at least from the clips that we saw right there, I don't see any recognizable characters. So it does look like all original. It'll be interesting to see if anybody does dive into characters that we know, if these are all original characters, and then if they are, if any of the success of any of them causes Disney to bring them into other like do we start seeing maybe a character from one of these shows or one of these episodes show up in like one of a future live action show or a future movie. So
I'm sure if this thing, like, is a big hit and successful, you could go to the bank that they'll, like, keep doing this and maybe make a feature, an animated
yeah.
feature of one, because these are all gonna be, at least they've been billed as individual short films. So, much like the
Mhm.
Gotham Knights thing and everything. So, I'm sure since it's Star Wars, if it's successful, Disney's gonna bank on it. But it's interesting because it's honestly, like, kinda surprising that it's taken this long for Star Wars to have any sort of anime adaptation because of how, like, George was originally inspired by, like, Akira Kurosawa. Like, he loved Kurosawa films, that's, like, what he was into. Like, it's kind of interesting that, like, George had never ordered something to happen in this realm of anything. Like, I just find that kinda funny. I don't know why, I just thought about that. So it is,
Yeah.
I don't know if anything,
There have been Star Wars manga books out there, adaptations done in manga style, for various Star Wars properties and things. As far as anime, I don't know of any animes that they've ever done prior to this.
there's gonna be one called The Duel, there's gonna be one called Lop and Ocho, and then Tatooine Rhapsody, The Twins, The Elder, The Village Bride, Akakiri, and TOB1, and The Ninth Jedi. And on
Mhm.
this article, it lists, like, the actual studio behind who's developing each one, but, not really. Just go look up the article if you wanna know, because there's not if I say it, it's not gonna make you know who it is any more than me, than you reading it, in all
Sure.
honesty. Because I'm actually not familiar, at least offhand, with any of the studios that I think maybe I've heard of Studio Colorido, but I really don't know. I might just be thinking that because Colorido sounds like Colorado, so I don't know. And then, like, there's Geno Studios. I know Genos from One Punch Man, so I think that's all I'm connecting that to. So, like, I really don't think I've heard of any of these companies personally. So either way,
Yeah.
I'm stoked for it though. I hope it's good, man. I don't know why. Not sure. I know why, but like I'm surprised that, Disney did it, and I'm just hoping that, it's good. I'm hoping it's fucking good, man.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna see more of it, so but yeah. Question is though, guys, what do you think about this? Are you excited for did you even know that this, damn it, what's the Vision show, Star Wars Vision show, did you even know that it was gonna be an anime series? I feel like they did announce that back in the day, but like I said, I didn't think they were actually going to be, like, working in not even working with, like, they literally, like, they allowed these, like, actual anime studios to develop their own original stories. So, like, that's really cool. I figured they were just going to be like Disney, Lucasfilm was gonna work with, some Western animation studios like they normally always would, and then just make it in an anime style. You know what I mean? Kind of like Avatar: Last Airbender. You know what I mean? It was like even though, quite frankly, they did license that stuff. Well, they didn't license it, but a lot of the actual animations and stuff like that were done. I think actually by a Korean studio, if I'm remembering correctly. But nevertheless, I just imagine I didn't no idea they were actually going to these, actual anime studios to make this. So that makes me excited. So whatever you think, let us know down in the comments section below. But with that down, that pretty much wraps it up for here, guys. So John, where can unless you have anything else to add, where can everybody find you online here?
Yeah, I'm over at Twitter and Instagram, Nightwing_K. Obviously, we guys have noticed that Rick wasn't able to be here tonight. He wasn't feeling up to it, so hopefully, he'll be back soon, and we'll get back to our Bad Batch reviews. I think it's easier for Rob to knock out those Bad Batch reviews when he's got someone to bounce stuff off of, and I'm still trying to get caught up. So hopefully, I'll be caught up soon, and maybe if Rick isn't able to be here next time, maybe I'll be able to banter back and forth with Rob about the latest episode.
It's true, honestly, because like I could do this whole show by myself, but I don't like doing it that way. Because, like,
Yeah.
it's just me saying things at that point. I prefer
Mhm.
actually talking, like, you know what I mean, sharing ideas. Because you never think this like, just perfect examples, that episode 3 of Loki. You hadn't seen it yet, so when me and Rick were talking about it last week, I literally even said, like, "I didn't like this, but I bet John's gonna love it." And you did. Like, you know what I
Sure
mean?
enough,
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like that's an actual good conversation, you know what I mean? There's me
yeah.
saying the things I think, that's kinda boring to me, you know what I mean? But so if you can actually bounce ideas off somebody, I don't know, it's more enjoyable, in my opinion. I don't know how
Yeah.
many shows I watch like this in general who is just like one person just telling me things, unless it's like an informative piece, but when it's opinion pieces, I
Sure.
find it kind of odd. You know what I mean? At least for me personally. But nevertheless, do not forget, guys, you can submit topics and questions to the show by emailing us here at honestanduneducated@gmail.com. That's honestanduneducated@gmail.com. Before I forget, there's nobody here sitting in the seat, but you can follow Rick Metz just at Sir Rick Metz. That's RIK at Sir Rick Metz, just like that. You can follow him on Instagram. And again, he will be back next week as well. Well, he should be. You never know. Things happen, but he should be back next week. And then other than that, don't forget, our collectible reviews go up every Wednesday, and I also have the collection update video up as well, so you can go check this out on the channel. And then the most recent collectible review I did was the Beast Kingdom Dark Knight Rises Memorial statue, so that is also up on the channel now. You can go check those out. And then every Friday we do our live stream. So like I said, this next Friday we're going to give our Black Widow spoiler review and discussion. We'll be doing that. We'll be talking Loki episode 5. I expect a lot of good things from there, given how that episode ends. So I'm gonna check that out. But guys, that'll do it for today. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. There's also a podcast version of the show. So go onto Spotify or iTunes, whatever podcast platform you use. Search Honest and Uneducated and subscribe to the podcast as well. If you can't always watch it here, but that'll do it for today. Or for today. For today. So thank you for watching again. Like and subscribe, all sorts of fun stuff. But until next time, guys, take care.